Cloud cost optimization. Why is it important? Why does it matter? Organizations have asked us before, Vology, why have you put so much time and energy into your cloud cost optimization service? Well, to answer that, we actually have 17.6 billion reasons why cloud cost optimization is so important to our customers and to the industry that we serve. Because just last year alone, organizations wasted over $17.6 billion on spending too much money on their cloud infrastructure. Now, is this problem getting better or worse? The answer is it's getting worse. By the end of 2025, organizations, it's actually estimated that by the end of 2025, organizations will be wasting over $25 billion per year on spending too much money on their cloud resources. So the question is, how does something like this happen? The answer is 3 letters. IOU. Idle resources, over-provisioned resources, I'm just going to put over-prov, and unreserved instances. I'll just put unreserved instances. Idle resources, over-provisioned resources, and unreserved instances is the 3 main areas that have actually caused the $17.6 billion of hemorrhaging that organizations are wasting every year because of these 3 areas. So, how can Vology help? Well, it's very simple actually. We can help organizations save money by by addressing these 3 major areas. So the first thing is, we help organizations save money by stopping idle resources. So let's take a virtual machine, or let's take a group of virtual machines inside a resource group in the cloud. And these are the virtual machines that are inside the dev environment in your cloud infrastructure. So here are your virtual machines, and these developers have been developing super awesome applications on them. A lot of cool innovations have been happening on these machines. And these things are running. They're helping your organization innovate. They're working with your development teams. Super great things are happening. However, your development teams are only working between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. But these machines are being billed by the minute. So when your bill comes in from the cloud, you're billed by the minute every minute you use virtual infrastructure in the cloud. And these machines, although your developers are only developing and writing code on them or utilizing them for whatever reason, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, these machines continue to run 24/7. That's a problem. That's a problem of what we call idle resources, where the machines, although they are not being utilized by your organization is still paying for them. So how can we help? Well, we can actually put a timer, if you will, on these machines that Vology can come in. Let's just put a little clock here, and we can actually shut off these resources when they're not in use. So we can actually create a timer that instead of having these machines run 24/7, let's say we have them run 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. That alone can help organizations save anywhere between 25 to 45% on their cloud infrastructure. So, but wait, there's more. So, how else can we help organizations save money in the cloud? Well, not only do we help you utilize the Vology proprietary tools to help analyze and assess what kind of infrastructure is running idle and underutilized during the peak and valley hours, we also help organizations assess what kind of infrastructure is over-provisioned. So we help remove over-provisioned resources by right-sizing. And this is super cool because when we actually help an organization right-size, this right here is where the majority of the savings happen for our customers. So how does this work? Well, let's go ahead and draw another example of virtual infrastructure in the cloud. So we got ourselves server A and server B. Okay? Now, server A is what originally your organization provisioned when it migrated its data to the cloud. So when your data was on-premise inside an on-prem data center, inside that on-premise data center, traditionally, IT administrators and organizations always took the approach of over-provisioning their infrastructure. Why do you ask? Well, this is very expensive infrastructure that as your organization grows, your need and demand of this on-premise infrastructure would grow along with it. So more storage capacity, more compute capacity, more virtual desktops. I mean, whatever it is that we're trying to utilize with our on-premise server, we needed to grow into this technology, so we needed to make sure there was a lot of buffer inside that on-prem server. Well, a lot of IT administrators took that same concept or that same mindset when they migrated their customers' data to the cloud. They still thought that even in the cloud, you needed a whole lot of buffer on your cloud infrastructure, which is actually not the case when it comes to a cloud environment, particularly because of auto-scaling, but that's for another time. Either way, when you put your data in the cloud, you don't need as big of a server as you would have needed on-premise. So, what do we find? Inside a lot of organizations, we find a lot of over-provisioned or very big servers in the cloud that are costing a lot of money. A lot of money. So how can we help? Well, it's very simple. We help analyze the actual CPU utilization of this particular machine. And then we realize, after running our proprietary tools and using the kind of in-house skills to be able to analyze the data from the tools, we've come to realize that this big server is only using about 10% of its actual CPU utilization or CPU capacity. So you know what? Let's go ahead and right-size it down to the right kind of server infrastructure the customer actually needs. So when we actually perform the right sizing recommendation, we help customers save anywhere between 25 to 75% on their server infrastructure just by right sizing the correct resources. Now, that's not the only things we do when it comes to helping customers save money in the cloud. Another thing, and our third area of major savings, we don't just help organizations in stopping idle resources that are running too long and during valley hours. We don't just help companies in right-sizing the resources that are too big, but we also help companies save money in reserving their compute instances or providing what we call RIs, reserved instances. So there are resources in the cloud right now that companies are using that they're using as a pay-as-you-go model. So they migrated their data to the cloud. Everybody's happy. They're using the pay-as-you-go model. They're really excited about this pay-per-minute thing. However, a lot of these organizations know that they're going to be using the resources that they have in the cloud. Let's say this. Let's take the server again. The resources that they have in the cloud, they're going to still be using these servers for at least 1 to 3 years. Well, although pay-as-you-go is awesome because you don't have to pay up front for expensive infrastructure, pay-as-you-go is not awesome if you plan on using those servers in the cloud for more than 1 year. If you know that you're going to be using those servers in the cloud for more than 1 year, pay-as-you-go is not the model. Reserved instances is the model you want to go with. If I were to bring to the cloud a agreement for reserved instances. It's a legally binding agreement where we tell the cloud, hey, we're actually going to keep borrowing these machines from you for at least 1 to 3 years. The cloud agrees, and when the cloud makes an agreement with an organization for reserved instances, companies can save on, let's say, a 1-year reserved instance between 25% to a 3-year reserved instances to 70% plus on their server infrastructure. So if you take the fact that we help customers with removing idle resources, the fact that we help customers right-sizing their over-provisioned resources, and the fact that we help customers reserve their unreserved instances when it makes sense for their organization, we can confidently state that regardless of whatever cloud environment we're walking into, whether if it's Azure or AWS, we can confidently state that we can help save a customer at a minimum 10 to 25% plus on their cloud infrastructure. Now, as you saw in the segment earlier, we can potentially help a customer save a lot more than that, but we can confidently feel that between 10 to 25% is the amount of money that we can save a customer with our cloud cost optimization services. So if you want to learn more about Vology's cloud cost optimization, feel free to visit our website, www.vology.com. Thanks so much, and we'll see you again soon.